Okay, I'm ready.
Bonnette, son. We're here with my friend Mike Tucker that I've been playing with for here a year or maybe 2 years, probably more like a year. They let me sit in with their fine bluegrass band, East Mountain Bluegrass. And I met him through my friend Art Malden, who is one of my favorite people in the world who's been on the channel.
At Wilbur's Memorial, right?
Well, I don't think is that when we met? Is that the first
so.
time we came in contact?
I think so.
But you've been around my people, my mom and my dad and my uncles. And so I've heard your name a lot.
Since childhood.
Yeah, since childhood. But Mike is a virtuoso musician, and guitar is probably not his best instrument, but he don't spend much time playing guitar anymore. So, but today we're going to review some guitars. So he owns some nice guitars. So that's always the thing. When somebody asks you if you play guitar, that's what I always say. I own some. And so Mike has some nice stuff. But today we're gonna play you some guitar music with both these guitars, and we're gonna talk to you about them. And so this one is a Martin D-45. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
A D-45. And it is a fine instrument.
And I got that guitar from Mr. Jim Yarborough, who got it from his wife Carol Yarborough, who got it from Milton Kaiser, the guy that
the capo guy
invented the Kaiser capo.
Is that right?
He Jim helped him a lot, and of course Carol is she's an outgoing person, good to be around. But Mr. Kaiser gave her that guitar right there.
That's a gift. That's a nice gift.
Yeah.
Because this is I guess it's considered like the top of the Martin line, and at least in a lot of, I'm sure they make some like crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Like Deering makes like a Banjo-Saurus or something, but like they charge it's $50,000 or something.
Yeah.
More of a one-off. Like this is what we can do. This is the top guitar that they make.
Yeah. And it's got light, as we talked about a while ago, it's got light gauge strings on it. Lighter gauge, we don't know exactly what, but they're not mediums, they're light. Mediums. And I did that. Number one, Mr. Yarborough said, Mike, he said, I think this guitar sounds better with light gauge. So, and I put mediums on there and played it one time and said, I believe I agree with you. So I just leave the light gauge strings on it.
Yeah.
It's a 1980.
1980. That's a good year. Well, it sure is pretty, and it's
signed by Chris Martin.
Is it really?
I think the 4th or 5th. See if you can see in there.
Yeah, I can't see with this lighting.
I've got an email that Jim from a guy at Martin that said it. Normally they did not sign them, but evidently, unless somebody came to the factory and on a tour and asked him to sign it, he said, so that's probably what happened.
With Mr. Kaiser, you think?
I'm assuming so.
And that would make sense, like somebody in the industry, sort of.
Yeah.
You would kind of
Yeah. But anyway, it's got Chris Martin, the 4th or 5th signature on there.
Well, I feel honored to even be holding this guitar. It's a
nice guitar.
It's a real nice guitar. It's got that binding on both sides, on the inside and outside.
Yeah.
2-piece back. So it's a lot like that one in a lot of respects.
It is.
I mean, apart from bling,
yeah,
they're pretty similar guitars, both rosewood.
Yeah, they are. This is a D-28 Clarence White model.
Clarence White.
Yeah, which it's got the bigger sound hole, like Clarence White's guitar, 28. That Tony Rice ended up with.
Mm-hmm. D guitar.
And this guitar right here was gifted to me from one of my good friends, Larry White.
He's a real good friend now, after that gift.
No, he I don't think he would have gave it to me if we weren't good friends. He's a good guy, good singer, and he got it from one of his friends that had a lot of guitars that I don't think he played. One of his good friends that passed away. His name was Rex something. On the case, it says T-Rex.
T-Rex. I saw that on the case while ago.
Yeah.
Well, that one looks like it's got the wide spacing. I was noticing earlier the wide spacing on the spruce, which I think means it's Adirondack, whereas this one's got the tight grain, which is Sitka, I think, generally.
I just play them. I don't get much past.
If I played like you do, I wouldn't get any further than that.
Well, I mean, you're going to see how these guitars sound, but I think it has a lot to do with who's got their hands on it.
It does. Well, and that's what I was thinking. Maybe we'd kind of go back and forth with them.
Actually, we can see how they sound when I play, how they sound when you play, and go from there. Rhythm is important. How it sounds on rhythm.
Yeah, that's true.
And then lead too, and lead on a guitar. That all depends when you're playing somewhere with a sound system, but it also depends on whether the rest of the band backs up and lets you, like we do with Lynn, my friend Lynn Gray. That's got a couple of nice guitars as well.
He does, doesn't he?
Yeah.
What is that little Martin he's got? Oh no, that's not.
It's a O something. I don't remember.
It's a shallow body and.
It's
a
not a dreadnought. It sure does.
It's got a good, clean, rich sound.
It sure does. Of course, again, I think whatever guitar Lynn picks up is going to have a good, clean, rich sound.
It does tend to do that. And he values that like that. I mean, he's such a classy person in his life, but he's also with a guitar in his hand.
That's right.
It's all class.
That's exactly right.
Have you seen my Bonnette Son merchandise? I have tons of goodies available, like t-shirts and coffee cups and stickers and a bunch of other stuff you need to check out. You need this. I'll leave the link for you in the description below.
Sometimes there are pickers that can burn a guitar up, but you can't hear the melody a lot of times.
Yeah.
And this is just sort of something that I think about. When they play a song, when they take a break on a slow song, you hear the same hot licks.
Same Tony Rice licks.
Which I'd rather. I mean, I love to play slow songs, and that sort of goes over into my banjo playing as well. I don't mind playing the slow song on the banjo.
I think banjo's underrated on slow songs.
It is. Because where you put your hands, you can make it sound mellow.
Pretty.
And then you can do some really pretty sort of like electric guitar licks on a banjo, bending the strings.
And it's a wonder you don't hear anybody that does that plays the banjo like an electric.
Yeah.
And there's room to do that. Like it'll do the same thing if you play it up close to the neck and up the neck with your left.
This guitar sounds good, don't it?
It does. There's just to my ears, there's a pretty big difference between these two. I mean, not big, but a noticeable difference, especially with the light gauge strings.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't sound like light gauge strings.
No, it
Sure
booms.
plays easier. Let's do I Fly Away. Okay. I play.
That one seems like it's easier for you to play.
Oh, it is. It no doubt it is. This almost sounds a little bit more mellow. I don't know.
I think it sounds mellower down here, but like when you get up there, I think it's at least as bright. At least it's as sudden. It is a little bit more of a round sound.
Okay, so you gonna do some finger pick on
I guess a little bit.
Just okay, so now I Fly Away. You gonna do that in D too?
No.
Okay. All right,
No,
man.
you're playing the upbeat finger picking stuff. Ooh. What do you think? Holding this one and holding that one, this one sounds like a beast.
Yeah, it does. It does.
I don't know if it's the same across the room because when I was sitting over here and I thought that one.
Yeah. It's strange how that is. I mean, because any instrument projects out front, so you don't really know. You don't get used to what your guitar really sounds like. That's the reason I like to hear other people play it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's weird because I would just holding them both. I would definitely pick this one on sound.
Yeah.
But having you pick them, I don't know if it's just your picking or my picking or.
I'm telling you, it's all in the hands of the person holding it. One difference, that guitar has been sitting out in the room. And, of course, I've been working on a lot of recording for the last 3, 4, 5 months. So I mean, that guitar's been played a lot more. This guitar's been sitting in the case.
Right. Well, that's why I'm so impressed when you first took that one out, and it was even competitive with this one.
Yeah.
Because leaving them out, it's just playing all the time a little bit.
I'm not sure this guitar, the 45, has been played much at all.
Case queen is what you call it.
Well, it just, my perception was that it didn't get played much when Mr. Kaiser had it, and I don't think it got played much when Mr. Yarborough had it either.
It's all original frets and all?
As far as I know, I mean, I don't know, but as far as I know, it is. Yeah, there's a little bit of wear, but not a whole lot. It looks almost more like it's just the coloration rather than an actual. But I mean, that guitar hadn't been played much either until I got it and been playing it. But just at home, you know, I mean, I never take acoustic guitar out when we're playing, so.
Sure sounds good. They both do.
They do.
This one makes it look like a little. It's right here, like it's all surrounding me.
Maybe it's a bigger sound hole, but obviously Clarence White thought that, you know, a bigger sound hole would.
Well, I mean, if it's a projection thing though. So like sitting where you're sitting, but for him picking it, and plus he played so much in a microphone too.
Yeah.
That it was important for him to hear it. I mean, because the microphone's going to pick it up and project it for you.
That's exactly right. It'd be interesting to know what his thinking was. I'm sure there's something out there on there, but maybe it did let him hear a little bit more.
Yeah, you can see that, especially in a bluegrass kind of setting. You know,
jam setting,
yeah, jam setting for sure. Or even like playing into mics on stage, like sometimes, especially if you back off, if somebody else is taking a break, I mean, you can't hear yourself at all, maybe.
And you know, most guitar pickers know they don't put the mic right in the sound hole. Right. I mean, they put it up here on like the 12th fret, like you were talking about that microphone, which means it's a good long ways from the. And Lynn and I have experimented a lot with that recording, where you got it in your ears. And I mean, you can hear every little nuance.
Right.
And even while he's playing, I can move the mic around, you know, whether it's a 4033, a large diaphragm condenser, or like a 57. And I mean, it's just amazing. Of course, Lynn's guitars, it's got both of them. The Mossman and the Martin has got a bunch of bottom end. And I mean, we can't hardly, when we're live micing it, we can't put it on the sound hole. Really? It's too much.
It booms.
Even when he's got it away from the sound hole, if you look at the mixer, a lot of times the bass is nearly all the way off.
Really?
With that guitar, yeah, it's pretty amazing. Of course, Lynn. I mean, he likes those top strings too, and plays them a lot.
He does, yeah, and that's a lot of what I like about his play.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
Well, he plays all the strings.
He does.
That's the way to put it. Instead of just staying on the bottom three, you know, playing a lead.
Yeah, he
matter
does
of fact, when I ask him, you know, how's it sounding EQ wise on your guitar, I mean, most of the time he said it's too bright and tinny, you know.
Well, it don't sound that way to me, but you know.
No, when
you can tell
he's
focused on
that's
the low
exactly
end. He
right.
likes the low end.
That's exactly, and that's what sounds good too.
For sure.
Okay, rhythm on the. This is the Clarence White.
Clarence White.
Sun black moon, when slides all right, to a niceness shoreline. I'm rattling it a little bit.
A little bit. Put this back over.
And by the way, and I'm using a blue chip 50 pick too.
Oh, you are? Well, no wonder it's rattling them.
A big triangle, that's what I like. Bottom end's different on this.
It's different.
Sun glad morning, slides on, I find to the home on my sunset shore, I find. It's got a good chain to it.
It's different. It's different.
It is. It is. I don't know what you'd call it.
I don't know either, and I don't know if some of that has to do. Are you picking that just as hard as you're picking?
Oh yeah.
The medium strings.
Oh, I was.
It's a different sound, and the mids are really strong on that guitar. I mean, you were talking about the low end, but
yeah,
the mids I think is. The low end is real good and real full, but it's not as sharp like the Mossman's.
It's
a
not,
real
not
sharp
as basic.
low end.
Yeah.
A real, and that one's kind of big, like thumpy.
Let's get in B. Let's just see what happens in B.
Okay, that's a good plan. Some capo work.
Always got to use it. So we're back.
It'd be hard not to pick any one of. It'd be hard to pick between these three as far as like which one I like better. That'd be a hard pick.
Yeah. Let's see how and this is Elliott capo right here, so that ought to make some difference.
Well, I've never had an Elliott capo.
I think this is old school right here too. It came with the guitar. I didn't have to retune the B string.
That Elliott ain't pinching it down. You need a good Kaiser on there. That is kind of funny that you got Kaiser's guitar with an Elliott capo on it.
This ain't quite as stout as that Clarence White.
Capo.
Yeah, in the B. Well, I don't know. I guess the first observation is they're all different.
They are.
Which sort of means whatever you get used to. That's
Yeah.
I mean, but it don't take long to get used to it. You know what I'm saying? So it really depends on what you need it. What you need it to project, or whether
Right.
you need it to, and really putting it on a mic in a big auditorium.
That changes everything.
It changes everything, and you move to another venue and it changes everything. We found that out.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and you have to adjust. But being able to adjust it on sound system, that kind of equalizes
That's right.
all of it. So then you're down to playability.
That's right.
Which, and some of these are more playable than others.
So basically, I mean, and neither one of those has had anything done to them.
Right.
I mean,
one of them since 1980, probably.
Yeah.
Which is pretty impressive because it still plays good.
Yeah, it does. It does. The sound, I mean, this really, overall, the sound is really similar between I mean, it's not exactly the same, but it's got a good rhythm chain.
Explain what you're saying with the rhythm chain. What
chang. That
chang.
chang. That's just what
right.
that open, what you want to hear. So it's the bottom 3 strings.
And that's mostly in bluegrass setting. That's what you'll hear of the guitar.
That's right.
Because the bass carries that.
That offbeat.
That one fills the room up. That one is just like blossoming in the room.
Yeah, this is just thinner.
Yeah, it is, but it's probably been in the case. Probably because it's been in the case.
And you mentioned this does have some mids. There ain't no doubt about
definitely.
that.
And that would probably just accentuate the more you picked it. We got a fun little thing. We've got a decibel meter that I bought on Amazon.
What we got?
Looks like 80 was the best it did.
So that was
from that close.
That was the.
Let's redo them all.
That was the 28.
It was the Clarence White.
Yeah.
But it don't.
Although that ain't that much difference.
I don't know.
Really.
Well, I think decibels though to go one. From what I've heard about decibels, every 2 decibels doubles the perceived volume.
Listen to that. I got a little. Got a little bit of a rattler, which means it has to be in that right there. It ain't as loud. $79.
83.4.
What?
Yep, but you did hit a good lick right when it happened. Like so it might have just been like thumped it.
It might have been that
time.
G run.
I don't know if that's possible because in the room it sounds like that one is the loudest, like this Clarence White.
Well, it just may be because it's just a fuller. They definitely got different sound. I mean, they're real similar, but there's definitely a difference.
Yeah, there's a big difference to my ears. But that one hit a 85 there. I feel like your picking might be getting better.
Well, that could be it. In bluegrass, the rhythm is
it's the thing.
And you got to get it where you can hear it when the banjo's playing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. because you kind of have to lead the song, and the banjo's
That's
the
true.
loudest. So you got to find a way to get yourself out into the mix.
That's exactly right. Man, I tell you what, I loved, and I played with Bose. I played guitar with Bose Creek for a while, and I just love to play rhythm.
I would too if I was as good at it as you are.
Cause that Chang is just something.
Yep.
That thing. See, Lynn, and he'll tell you, he grew up playing with his dad playing fiddle.
Right.
So he plays more of a chop with a bass note.
Right.
You know, in a sort of a transition run, moving between chords. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, thank y'all for watching this episode. And thanks to my friend Mike for coming over and being the talent for this and bringing his fine Martin guitars over here. And
you're welcome. Anytime.
so leave it. We're going to let you guys comment below to see which you liked better. Like and share and subscribe and do all the stuff. So thank y'all.
But I always like those flatted thirds, you know, and sort of steel guitar. Like,
Right.
So when I started playing with other guys, they said, "Man, you're playing a blues scale,
Yeah.
which is the minor." You know, finally it's sort of all come together that you know that E minor. The same notes as the regular. You just have to think about it a little bit different. Boy, I use. I didn't know anything about. I didn't know blues music at all. But they were saying, "Man, you're playing a blues scale." And I said, "No, I'm not. That's the regular major scale." But boy, I was doing all that, you know, I was bending it up and down. I mean, that's a blues guy.
That guitar's got the most, out of all of them, it's got the most unique voice.
Does.
Like, its voice is different than the rest.
That's right.
And I maybe say that the Mossman would be pretty close to having a unique voice like it, but it's so different.
It's got high and lows and mids.
Yeah, and mids. But it's a different. I don't know. I guess it cuts through good in a group.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But it's a real different sound.
You're exactly right.
Which I guess is that sound hole.
So, well. Yeah, you'd think, although I'm saying the wood's premium in it.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be no more premium than that.
You wouldn't think. But that one, there's no telling what that one really is, like we were saying a while ago.
I need to. Okay, are we through now?